All right, I don't know if anybody's there right this second. I know I just finished up with the gaming chair build, but thought I would hop back on to chat with some of you guys since apparently I was looking at the completely wrong chat room, and gives me a chance to see how my camera's actually popping up here with you guys as well. So those of you that did show up, I do appreciate you guys coming out and checking out that particular live stream. But I'm not sure why it didn't show anything over here in the YouTube studio over here. So I'm actually in the actual chat itself, period. I'm going to switch over to YouTube Studio either way. On a different link there. I am my own best participant right this second. Yeah, it's kind of crazy how my video looks really good on the chat or on the actual channel itself, whereas I'm looking in my OBS over here and it's almost like a little too pink, a little too red, which that's fine. What is up, guys? I know there is a couple of you bouncing around in there. So at least one like, so feel free to hop in the chat if you feel you want to say hi. I'm just bouncing around between some of these apps and programs I got on my computer. My Twitter and Instagram. And seeing what's going on out there in the actual world. There's a lot of crazy stuff. Unfortunately, we lost Betty White yesterday. We lost John Madden just last week. So 2021 was decent for me, but it seems like it wanted to be pretty brutal up to the very end. Hey, what's up, Steven? Happy New Year to you as well. Appreciate you coming in. Normally I don't do a live stream quite as much, but I thought I'd pop on since there was about 3 or 4 people that were on when I did my chair build just a few minutes ago. So I'm not gonna be on here for a huge amount of time, but I thought I'd just kind of pop my head in and see how everybody else is doing. Now I just kind of finished building my nice Razer chair right here. As you can see, that big old poster board behind me, that was the instruction manual on how to build this particular chair. So it's kind of crazy. I do like the chair though. It's definitely got a little leather feel to it. The arms, I thought they were actually going to feel a little more plasticky, but they actually feel pretty good. So I think it's going to enhance how I'm going to feel with the amount of time that I actually sit in these particular chairs. So I got people telling me I had a pretty good stream. So a couple people that I actually worked with, they actually liked it. So the thing I do like about it though is it actually has a pretty wide base. Wide base. I don't know why my voice is cracking. Maybe I'm just a little bit thirsty because I haven't had anything to drink in a little while. But the base is really nice. I like the fact that the arms kind of swivel around in this chair, so it's really nice. I would normally, I've been wanting to get more into doing more game streaming, but unfortunately, I don't have super duper fast internet in terms of upload speed around here. So, did you have a good New Year's? Did you get nice and drunk? And if not, did you have a good Christmas? Myself, I'm not the best person when it comes to Christmas. You know, for me, my dad passed away the day after Christmas when I was like 16, 17 years old. So it really hasn't been the same. And yeah, for me this year, that's been 25 years since that actually happened. But it's, you know, it still lives with you a little bit. You know, that's where things like games and gaming and arcade games and pinball and all that stuff really tends to help people out. I don't want to say it's therapeutic because some people can actually do it to an unhealthy lifestyle and way of life. Honestly, my days off from work these days, I don't even really go out and do too much stuff unless I necessarily have to. So mute that or else it's going to be going off. But yeah. Yeah, it was a fairly quiet here too. I mean, it's one of those things that unfortunately COVID has really smacked a lot of things down to make it where you just can't have fun without people worrying, hey, are you wearing your mask? Why are you not wearing your mask? You know, you go to the movie theaters, and I went to the movie theaters to see the new Spider-Man, and I think like half the crowd wasn't. So, my camera froze. So that's the one thing that I'm having issues with when it comes to this brand new web camera that I got, is it tends to freeze. And there was supposed to be a way to fix that issue with the freezing, and I'm still having issues where OBS is still freezing with it. Still by doing exactly what they told me to do. Maybe I need to bump the FPS down to the 59.94 instead of 60, and maybe that'll actually work, but I don't know. They told me to turn the buffering off, just like disable buffering, and I'm still having the issues of it freezing. I'll turn on my camera, I'll turn on OBS, and it still will lock up. So I may end up having to put a ticket in with Elgato to see if we can come up with some other solution when it comes to these issues. So just looking at this big pile of box, just a box, one single box. The thing is gigantic though. There's so much plastic from it. Hey, what's up, Axeman? How are you doing tonight? Welcome over to the channel, and we're just doing a little bit of chatting today. You know, I had a bunch of people in here just a little while ago and didn't realize that I was chatting in the wrong chat and I had nothing on my screen. And then I decided to put up another chat, Feral, because I know there was a few of you guys that were chatting and I didn't want you guys to think that I accidentally missed you guys, or actually I did accidentally do it because I was on the YouTube Studio live stream channel and there wasn't any kind of chat coming through, so I didn't think anybody was talking. So I switched over to the actual channel itself for my YouTube channel on the just to see how the live was coming out, and boom, I had people chatting. But hopefully all of you guys that are here have had a really good holiday this year. Did you guys eat lots of food, get nice and fat, get some really good gifts? Happy New Year to you as well, Axeman. But since I know I don't stream very much, and I know there's a lot of you guys on my actual subscription list, thought, why not? Let's start the new year off doing something a little bit different. So just wanted to show all of you guys a bit of appreciation. Yes, the gloves, they were kind of a silly little thing for them to put in the actual box, but I knew that these were going to be in the actual box for this nice chair. And I apologize if my camera freezes for you guys. That's something I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this brand new Elgato camera. Spent most, I don't know. That's awesome. What kind of videos were you doing? Is that for your YouTube channel? I feel like these are kind of silky kind of gloves. I mean, I guess they'd be okay if you were wanting to commit a crime, but they just literally have no grip on these things at all. So, but were you guys able to hear me okay during the live stream a little while ago? I tried to get the microphone as close as possible without blocking me too much, but I don't think that really worked too well. Yeah, I mean, Christmas, myself, I went and spent Christmas with my family, my mom, my brothers, and thankfully they had just gotten over COVID about a week before Christmas. One of my brothers got pneumonia from it, so unfortunately, he was sick. Oh, nice. Game of the Year vids. Yeah, I didn't do any kind of real Game of the Year ones. I mostly just did, if you saw, just kind of a recap of my channel for the year, which is okay. Just mostly some of my top videos that I actually had. What kind of stuff did you do in terms of unboxings? Did you do any good games? Sneak peek for everybody. Yeah, my brother's definitely doing a lot better, so he's got a little, not as much of a cough, but he's not doing too bad. But he's able to get back to work and start doing things. My mom's also doing better as well. She got out of the hospital after about a week and a half or so. And she's doing a lot better as well. You know, I heard that from her that she was going out and doing some shopping just before Christmas. So for me, that actually meant that she was doing a lot better if she's able to get out of the house and do that kind of stuff as well. In the end, I had two brothers that got COVID, my sister and my mom. So the one who ended up getting the pneumonia, he was kind of patient zero for pretty much everybody in the house. He got it from his girl, but you know, these things happen. You know, accidents happen. You can't really blame one specific person for getting something that is all over the place. I mean, you don't get your shots. It's it's definitely inevitable to actually happen. Now, do I fully believe in the shots? That's a whole different story. I did get mine. Ooh, Dragon Ball Z statues. Gotta love Dragon Ball Z. Zelda statue, Metroid Dread, reboxing. Was it dreadful? Bah. Actually, I saw something online just a little while ago that the Metroid Dread was pretty decent. And X-Men statues. What kind of X-Men statue you get? You get a like a Wolverine statue or something to that effect? Hmm. Well, it looks like it's just you and me now, kid. Everybody else bounced out, but that's okay. The ones that matter are the ones that stay. Oh, nice. Wolverine Phoenix. I do like some of the statues they do for some of the X-Men figures. Some of the ones for Wolverine are really, really nice. Especially some of the ones that I've seen from, I think from Japan. But I think the one that I saw from Japan was like $1,000 or something like that. There was like some crazy statues that are actually out there. But now that I'm making a little more money, I might actually get to where I'm buying myself, little collectibles here and there. I mean, the next real big thing I really want to get for the channel here is, welcome back, Steven. The next real big thing I really want to get for myself is a nice new camera for my chat. I got to do a couple things for the house. Though got a tree I want to get cut down and start looking at getting a nice size storage building so that I might be able to start a little man cave. Maybe not a little man cave, but a decent sized one. I've been seeing some of these 30 by 16s. So that would be pretty big, but they're pretty freaking expensive. I mean, you're talking like 10 grand, up to 15 grand for some of the size ones that I'm really looking at. I've seen some people that have some really, really nice man caves of their own in their own garages or in their basement or up in their attics and such, and it makes me a little jealous. I got a little small house, so. Oh yeah, the 80s costumes were some of the best costumes that they had, in my opinion. The 90s, they got pretty good. They got okay in the 90s as well. That X-Men #1 that they had, I think it was in the 90s that it was out. That had the 4 different covers that you can put them all together and make one big picture. They had posters about it as well. I really liked that particular one. I actually had all 4 of those. And then I think they had a single one that kind of folded out so you can actually have all 4 covers in like one big poster type thing. So it's kind of cool. I mean, I was a big fan of comic books back in the 90s more than anything else. I mean, I've got about 700 or 800 comics floating around somewhere up in my attic. And it's not too hot, not too cold up there, so they're in pretty good shape. Got a couple comics I need to get graded, though. That would go really hand in hand with some of the stuff that's actually coming out here soon in terms of movies. Like, I actually have the Amazing Spider-Man episode or issue that is the introduction of oh my God, what's his name? Not Mephisto, the Living Vampire. So I ended up getting that for like $5 from somebody back in California. So yeah, I loved the X-Men comics back in the 90s. Once they started hitting the Phalanx, and after that, that's where they got a little weird. I did love the Onslaught series, though. Onslaught was the man. He tore everything up. I mean, he changed the whole outlook of mutants as well as the superheroes. And it was like one of the biggest arcs they had for Marvel at the time. Yeah, Morbius, Living Vampire. It's been a long day. I've got a headache. And this nice new pillow, it actually feels kind of nice. So I can put my head back and just be like, oh. I don't know why I like to call Morbius Mephisto. That's a completely different bad guy. A completely different color, too. Yeah, Onslaught was huge. The Civil War, though, I still can believe everything they did in that Civil War in Marvel. That flipped everything upside down. And I'm not talking about the Civil War they had in, you know, the Captain America movie. I mean, that was just a footnote. I mean, imagine if they actually did the actual Marvel Civil War true to how the comic books were. Man, they could do it like a TV show and it would last seasons. They did like 20. Oh, you dirty. 1,500 X-Men comics? Oh my God. You have number 1, don't you? Daddy. Okay. What's up, Squirtle? That's a different one. But welcome to the chat. Oh boy. So what do you guys think of the stream? Is the video coming through pretty good, pretty clear? I personally think it looks a lot better than my previous camera. So little upgrades here and there. I am looking at getting a new... Oh, boo, boo. You could get one, probably get something at a 2.0 grade for a couple $100. Well, I only have the one. Thank you. I only have the one up that you see behind me, the Ninja Turtle one. I'm probably not going to upgrade or do any kind of mods to it. If I did anything, I would probably maybe get rid of it and get the newer one. From what I understand, the screen is supposed to be a little nicer on it. Do I want to spend $600-700 on buying the new one? Probably not. I'd probably sell this one. I could probably get about $400 or $500 for this guy back behind me, because you have people that will buy them just to go ahead and mod them. Appreciate that, guys. I'm glad that it actually is coming through clear. Now, if I was playing a game and trying to stream, that would be a different story, because it tends to not stream quite so well. I mean, we've got Spectrum here, which isn't bad, but I'm paying for 400 down and 25 up, I think it is. And the next tier is like a gigabit. Yes, I'm a filthy yummy gamer, Squirrel. Just what you said. Yeah, I've been hearing good things about that X-Men Arcade 1-Up. I really like the looks of it. I think when it comes to their 4-player ones, they've really needed to release these cabinets with bigger screens. 17 inches is okay for some of the games, especially a lot of the single-player games like your Pac-Man and Galaga and such. But I think when it comes to some of these other ones that have the 4 players, it's got to be at least a 19-inch, realistically. And I've seen some people putting 19, 20-inch ones in their cases to make them look a little more full, I guess you could say. And yeah, I've been hearing great things about the AtGames Ultimates, so there's nothing negative that I could necessarily say when it comes to the At Games Ultimate. I know that they have bigger screens when it comes to that. Obviously, you have the ability to buy more games and put them on there. Okay, what's going on? We got a Jigglypuff and we got a Squirtle. Oh, this chat's going downhill quick. I can already see it. At least it makes it interesting, I guess. Pokeball Go. I believe it. And there's not too many games that are actually on that machine there. That's the one thing about some of these machines that drives me crazy, the arcade one. They have these really great cabinets, depends on who you talk to, but they don't put too many games on them. You know, why aren't they putting more games on these? I know that we've seen a billion Pac-Man games. We've seen a billion Street Fighter games from them. Why can't we get Marvel vs. Capcom 2? I know it's going to be a licensing issue more than anything else. When you look at games like Tron, Discs of Tron, those are like the only games that that particular cabinet could really play effectively. Oh boy. I think if I ended up getting anything, I'd probably get one of the fighting cabinets, probably the Marvel vs. Capcom or X-Men vs. Street Fighter, or, you know, something to that effect. Because they just had so many games on there that were great in terms of fighting. Yes. Oh, man. You talking about for Tron, John? Now I've been looking around on my local. I've been looking around on my local Facebook marketplace, and I've actually been seeing people selling some of the Miss Pac-Man cabinets. Somebody actually had one posted a couple days ago. I think it's still there for about $700, but the screen doesn't work. So he basically said he had somebody that could fix it for about $200-300. So it's makes me wonder on what the issue is. Don't know if it might be the monitor gone out, or if there might be something on the actual motherboard itself, or even the power supply on the inside may be bad. The only thing I could think of might be the power supply, especially if the guy was able to fix this particular cabinet for about $200-300. Yes, Squirtle. What is the question? Yeah, I would see it needing more powerful hardware, but when you look at some of the games that are really out there that they're starting to actually put and out there and make available, I mean, you look at some of the games. I mean, I think Virtua Fighter would be a good game that could put on there too, but again, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the best version of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 wasn't the great. It was great on the arcade. It was the best version was on the Dreamcast, just plain and simple. And in terms of the vaccines, well, I don't think I'm going to really go into that, because it can go either way. There's reasons why people can agree with it. There's reasons why people can disagree with it. But today we're not going to go political. We're just going to chat. We're going to go ahead and talk about video games and the holidays. Hope that's okay with you, Squirtle. And yes, I feel that with them being able to do Killer Instinct, I feel they can definitely do Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Correct. That is political news. So that would be something I definitely don't want to rip the band-aid off of right this second when it comes to this. Now, I think that's one thing that Arcade 1-Up really does have over AtGames when it comes to AtGames Ultimate is their ability to release all these cabinets that look like they were, that basically are catering to the people that really were around in the 80s and the 90s and 2000s, where they were able to walk into an arcade and have this immediate feeling of nostalgia. Imagine having your own arcade in your home. If you guys don't already have one, and having everything turned on and you have all the noise, you have all the sounds to where it just brings you back. All right, Farrell, I appreciate you coming in. Thank you for coming in, making it real with us too. Great conversations tonight. You can't run Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on MAME? I haven't tried to do any kind of MAME games in a long, long time, so it needs some more. It needs a little bit of huevos. I mean, it's a matter of what other games people want to really have come out. I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff out there. I know a couple people mentioned something about Stargate, and we're not talking about SG-1, even though I love Stargate, the series and the movie, and Battlestar Galactica and all that good stuff as well. I gotta get used to this chair here. I mean, I like it. It just kind of hugs your body a little bit without being too overly attaching. Like the overly attached girlfriend. I mean, it's not quite that, but it does feel good being that it is a brand new chair. It's just gonna have to be broken in. I have to readjust my camera again so that actually it is a little more centered on me here. 100%. The look of the cabinet is what they are appealing with. Now, yes, people are going to complain about the price going up, but with the price of everything going up, in terms of import tariffs, in terms of the cost of goods, the parts, wood going up like it is, fuel going up, it's no big surprise that they're getting hit with inflation that has to be passed on to us, because they're not going to continue making the same amount of money that they were if they are charging the same amount for products that are costing them more to make. Unfortunately, it's not good business, and it would eventually lead to them closing or not being able to get quite so many licenses to release these games. Let me see, let me turn this. Okay, that's a little bit better. I actually have an umbrella camera or umbrella light right beside me, and my bulb, which is one of these guys, started flickering and going out on me, so I had to order a couple new bulbs. I've been using these for years. They were photography bulbs, and I tend to use them kind of like as a regular light. So all I really have in my little room right here is the ring light that's behind me, and I have a couple of these Elgato lights that you see on some of my other chats and my other videos that I've posted. So hopefully I'm not going to have an issue when it comes to this camera anymore, but I think I'm going to eventually. I'm hoping maybe just a a driver update will fix some of the issues that I've got. But I think I'm going to close up the chat now, man. I appreciate you coming. I've actually really enjoyed talking with you guys. Hopefully we can maybe do this again a little more often. Just so I can get to know a lot of you guys a bit better and maybe bring a little more life to the actual channel as well. So sometimes I do talk a lot. I do have a lot of worthless knowledge, but sometimes that worthless knowledge is fun. Occasionally I have people that I know from real life. Yes, we'll miss you, Squirtle. Hey, sometimes being a talker is not a bad thing. I've worked retail for too long and started my IT career earlier this year. But yeah, I appreciate you coming out, Steve. I know you kind of bounced on and off. Hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much with my random conversations here. But hopefully we'll do it again. Maybe we'll get more people popping in and have some really, really good conversations. So I will talk to you guys later. You guys have an amazing night. Hope you had a great start to your new year. And we will talk to you guys next time. Have a good night.